There we go. Okay. Alright guys, we got a little bit of black in the front there. I do apologize for that. I've been experimenting with this, with our toy again. Alright. We were in 1967. I just went through 1965, had 4 great games that played through. I thought were pretty good. We're in 1967. We're going to do the Chicago White Sox versus the Boston Red Sox. Their opening day in Boston is what we're doing here. Will I be doing the Red Sox all the time? I'd like to, but that wouldn't be fair to everybody else because I know there's other ball fans here. I will be trying to get everybody's team in here, not necessarily against the Red Sox, but against somebody else. I've had some, as you guys know, I have weird things about games here, so I've tried to be good about it. For the 13th, though, for here in National Pastime, I had 5 games here. I started out with the Indians and the Angels. And the Indian Angels came up with a 6-3 win. Fred Newman got the win, pitched a complete game, struck out 5, walked 1, gave up 3 runs. Ralph Terry got the loss, gave up 6 runs, but only 3 were earned. I have instituted a 10-hit rule. If you have 10 hits, you are out. That way there, with the way the hits go, sometimes it'll make it a little bit easier because you know the pitchers do get tired. Max Elvis hit a home run for Cleveland, single shot. He did that in the 6th inning. He was also hit by a pitch in the 8th. I guess Newman was not real keen on that. For the California Angels, they had no home runs but quite a few RBIs. That's how they started 1965. And I followed that up with the White Sox and the Orioles, of which the White Sox came back in the top of the 9th, 1-5-4. They had a 4-0 lead. Orioles tied up. White Sox came back. It definitely was a nail-biter. Gary Peters gets the win. Eddie Fisher gets the save for the Chicago White Sox. Gary Peters did give up a pair of home runs in the 5th inning. Jerry Adair and Sam Bones, a ball for each hit one. Smokey Burgess got the game-winning RBI in the 9th inning. And with a double, he had a double. I take that back. Ron Hansen had the game-winning RBI with Smokey with that going. For Baltimore, like I said, Jerry Adair. Jackie Brandt had, for the left fielder, had 2 doubles for his 2 hits. Steve Barber took the went 7 innings, gave up 3 runs, gave up 4 runs, 3 earned, and Wally Bunker came in and gave up the losing run in the 8th inning. Again, it was 5-4. Otherwise, Sam Bones had 2, including his home run. Jerry Adair had with 2 for 3. Only 3 Orioles hit. They had 6 hits total, and they were done by 3 players. But that was the next one. Right after that, I had the Tigers Athletics. Kansas City won 6-4. They had a 6-1 lead and tried to give it up. They were very fortunate about that. Al Kaline had an error that was very placement. Hank Aguirre got the loss. He gave up 4 runs on 6 hits. That's the way it was carried against him. McLean did come in. He gave up 2 runs and 1 earned run, which ended up being the 5th and 6th run of the games. Larry Sherry came in, pitched 2 brilliant innings. And home runs were, of all people, you ready for the winning pitch? Diego Garcia pitched a complete game. 4 runs on 4 earned runs. I let him stay in. I shouldn't have, but I let him stay in anyway. It wasn't looking that bad for him until the 9th. There was only 3 runs. I kept him in. Diego Garcia actually hit the game-winning RBI. He hit a 3-run blast in the 5th inning. Bergkamp and they went back-to-back, and Denny McClain gave up 1 to Hawk Harrelson. And that's how pretty much it went for this game here. There were no other extra base hits, but Diego Garcia won it. And we went to the National League. And we had the Cardinals and the Cubs for starters, of which the Cardinals won 3-2. They scored 2 runs in the top of the 9th inning. It was another nail-biter. Cubs had a 2-0 lead up to the 6th and held on to 2-1 till the top of the 9th on a Billy Williams home run in the 1st inning. Bob Boole came in. He pitched 8 2/3 innings, gave up 2 runs on 9 hits, walked 3, struck out 3. Tevin Abernathy, though, got hung with the loss. He gave up the game-winning run in the top of the 9th on a home run to Kurt Blood on Lou Brock. I take that back. On Lou Brock, Bob Boole gave up the tying run in the 9th. They were back-to-backs. Does happen on occasion. Kurt Simmons came in for the Cardinals, pitched 7 good solid innings, 4 strikeouts, 2 walks. Ron Taylor got the win, pitched the inning, and Nelson Browse came in for the save. Kurt Simmons, the pitcher, had a double himself. Otherwise, it was pretty tame. Few errors. Nothing spectacular except that Ernie Banks had 10 putouts, so he's going to be good in the fielding department. That was followed by the Braves and the Reds. The Braves had a 2-0 lead. The Reds proceeded to score 9 runs. No home runs, but Mac Jones had a triple. Ty Klein and Gene Oliver both had doubles. Gene Oliver came into pitch hit mode, had a double. Dennis Menke got caught stealing. Joe Torre had the sacrifice fly. Wade Blasingame did not get past the 3rd inning. Gave up 6 runs on 5 hits, 2 home runs. We'll talk about those. Denny Lemasta came in, pitched 3 and a third, 3 runs on 7 hits, which is pretty much what he pitched in the real game itself. Clay Carroll came in and threw an inning, struck out 1. The actual game itself was 8-3, so I caught a break here on a 9-3 win for the Reds. That's how it just happened. Leo Cardenas and Vada Pinson both had home runs for the Cincinnati Reds. Vada Pinson was a 3-run shot. Frank Robson went 3 for 5 for the game, all singles. And Darren Johnson with 2 for 4. He got injured. He will be out 4 games, so I'll have to play with the roster for that. I do allow the injuries in these leagues. It happens. I'm going to play it. Everybody gets hurt on occasion. Then the final game, which I think was the best one I had for starters, was a 4-2 victory by the San Francisco Giants. It was a very tight game going into the top of the 8th inning. Jack Sanford stuck around until he got the 10-run rule. Gave up 2 runs on 2 runs on 10 hits, both earned. Struck out 4. Gave up 1 home run. He gave up 2 Gene Alley in the 6th inning, which gave the Pittsburgh Pirates gave him back the 2-1 lead. Willie Mays had a home run for the Giants. I believe he had that also. I believe he had that in the 8th. I'm not sure. I believe so. It was a 2-run blast. It was in the 8th inning. It was a game-winning run. Hallinier and Will McCuffey also had multiple hit games. Tom Haller, the catcher, had a double. Had the other multiple hit. And for the Pirates, Bill Verdon went 3 for 5. Bill Verdon's been having a pretty good season here for the Pirates. And actually, in 2 of my leagues, I've got him in 1956 also, if I recollect correctly. I don't think it was with the Pirates then. Bob Friend came in, pitched, gave up 2 runs on 4 hits. 4 runs actually, 2 earned, including the home run to Willie Mays in the 8th inning. And got hung with the loss. Al McBean came in, pitched an inning of relief. Had that 1 lone hit. That's what gave the Giants the 4th run and was tagged against Friend. Bill Verdon had a double. Roberto Clemente had a triple. Gene Alley had the lone home run for the Pittsburgh Pirates. And Dick Schofield had the lone error, and Bob Bailey, of course, our favorite Bob Bailey, grounded double play. That was 1965. We're now in 1970-67. And let me take that down real quick. Here we go, guys. Hello, Beetle. How you doing tonight? Figured I'd give you guys a synopsis of what I've been doing pretty much during the day. I also cleaned up the 1956 season, but I'm not going to get there before. We are doing White Sox versus Red Sox. Let me fix this real quick. Thank you. It'll be Buzhardt versus Lonborg. And that's what we have going on. We never know what, as everybody knows, you never know. Round, as they used to say on one of the TV shows, round and round we go. Where it stops, nobody knows. I believe that was Ted Mack who said that. Here is the starting lineups. It's on April 12th, 1967. For all intents and purposes, my brother's 9th birthday. For the Chicago White Sox, leading will be Walt No Neck Williams, who will be playing left field. Don Buford is at third. Tommy Agee, the center fielder, who eventually was better known when he was with the Mets in '69, is playing center. Pete Ward is the White Sox first baseman. Ken Berry is the right fielder. He's a decent player. Jerry McNertney is the catcher. Ron Hansen, who was the shortstop. Jerry Adair, who eventually went to the Red Sox in 1967, is the second baseman. John Buzhardt is the pitcher. For the Boston Red Sox, Jose Tartabull. Yes, that's Dad. For Al, who wants to know, Jose Tartabull is playing center field for the Red Sox. The rookie Joe Foy will be playing third base. Carl Yastrzemski is at left field. Tony C is at right field. George Scott is the first baseman. Reggie Smith will be playing second base this time. He actually started out there instead of going out to the outfield. Rico Petrocelli will be playing third. Will be playing shortstop. Mike Ryan's the catcher, and Jim Lonborg is our pitcher. I do believe that Reggie Smith became the center fielder when they traded Jose Tartabull, and I think it was for Ken Harrelson. And I think that's what happened. Anyway, if you guys look at my board here, you'll see I got people in black. They were not on the opening day lineup. They will get in there when I get their call-up date. And here we go. First pitch by Lonborg in the 1967 season. As we all know, it was the Cinderella season for the Boston Red Sox. But the way this game plays, we will never know. And Williams hits a high fly pop-up heading over towards Petrocelli. And he makes the grab, and we have one away. Don Buford's our batter, playing third base for the Chicago White Sox this year. Here is the pitch. It is a 56. And a possible error hit's going to be on the ground, maybe. And he also hits a pop-out heading over towards Petrocelli. Petrocelli waits underneath it, and he makes the grab for the out. And I'm going to go into the 1967, so in case I do have to make changes to pitching staffs, I will have who should be pitching so I don't make up my own mind, which is about right in the way it should be done fairly. For anybody who's interested, the Boston Red Sox did win this game for real, 5-4. Everybody had relief pitchers, so we know that that could possibly happen in this game. We do play the 5-run, 5-inning rule. We also play the, now I added the 10-hit rule to my games anyway. I think that's a little bit fairer for everybody. Here's the pitch to Tommy Agee. Tommy Agee gets a 36. Another possible error coming up. You never know where it's going to go. And he hits a pop-up to our second baseman, Reggie Smith, who makes an easy grab, and we have a 1-2-3 inning for our beloved Boston Red Sox. And yeah, you know, that was a tough loss on the Pirates right up into the 8th inning. A very, very well played game by both teams. So I'm not even going to lie about that. I was enjoying it all the way through. Even with the way it ended, I still enjoyed the game. It was very well played. So just so you know, I don't have hard feelings towards any team except for the, you know, everybody knows, the Yankees. Okay, coming to bat for the Boston Red Sox will be Jose Tartabull. Again, like I said, I do believe that Jose Tartabull was eventually traded, and I'm going to look at that real fast. So bear with me, guys, so you guys get all the good trivia that comes with my game. And the answer is no. He was traded. He was traded in 1966 to the Boston Red Sox. I take that back. He was not traded. I apologize. I made a mistake. I apologize for that, guys. It does happen. Here is the pitch to Jose Tartabull. It's a 66. You know when that number comes up, anything can happen, and he's got them all up here, except for the home run ball. It's a 12. And Tartabull starts the game off with heading out towards left center field as it heads towards the deeper part, getting picked up by our center fielder, Tommy Agee, and fires it back in. Jose Tartabull is on with a base hit. Due up is Joe Foy. Don't know much about the kid. I believe this is his rookie year for the Boston Red Sox. And nope, he did play in 1966. This is his sophomore season. And back then, everybody feared the sophomore seasons of a lot of ball players because they usually had a slump because nobody knew what they were in the rookie year. They figured them out in the sophomore year. Here is the throw by Buzhardt. He is in the stretch, and it is a 66. And Joe Foy, it is driving up towards the wall. And Joe Foy, take a walk. You earned 04 bases, and we have a 2-run job by the Boston Red Sox to start off the game in the first inning. Way to go, Joe Foy. And there we go. Coming up to bat is Carl Yastrzemski. Carl Yastrzemski's been with the team since 1961. He was the heir apparent to Ted Williams in left field. He started out in the minor leagues, though, as a shortstop. Here is the pitch to Yaz. 24. And Buzhardt strikes out Yastrzemski. One down from the top bottom of the first inning. Boston Red Sox are up 2-0. Tony Canigliero's coming up to bat. As we all know, this was pretty much his last true playing season. Though he played a few others, he just wasn't the same. And in case anybody didn't know, I think about a month ago, Jack Hamilton finally died. And he regretted whatever, he has always stated he regretted what happened in 1967 until the day he died. No one likes to see a ball player have to be out of the game for that. Here's a pitch to Canigliaro. It's a 51. And Tony Canigliaro slaps a single out again towards left center field, getting scarfed up by Aju. We now have runner on first. Boston Red Sox coming up. George Scott will be coming up. This is before he got called Boomer. And there goes Canigliaro. Canigliaro's going to try to steal second base, and he is nailed. Call that 2-4. McNertney over to Adair, and Tony C is out trying to steal second. Why, Stars, the Red Sox are not necessarily known as a running team. Don't know where that came from. Tony C in 1967 had a whopping, before he got injured, 4 stolen bases. Why he tried? Don't know. By the way, he was on his way heading towards possibly another home run tally. He had 20 home runs before he got injured. Came back and played with Boston 2 more years. He really had a good year, but it just really wasn't the same. I'm just glad he was able to come back with Boston. He had ended up with double vision, I think, and that's what finally did him in. So I do apologize. Joe White did. He's not a bad hitter. It's just way how you want to play the game. If you're playing with the dice or action or any of those guys, yeah, it's going to try to fit to him. That's why I try to use my own dice. That's my own theory. Here's the pitch to Scott. 13. And he is walked. We have a runner on first base. Boston Red Sox are being quite successful in this first game this season. Reggie Smith is our next man up. He is the second baseman today. Reggie Smith himself in 1967, this was his official rookie year. He ended up batting .246, had 15 home runs, so he had a little bit of pop, and he was second in the Rookie of the Year voting. By the way, to the eventual winner, Rod Carew. Not a bad person to finish second base behind. To Rookie of the Year, Rod Carew ended up batting .292. So you can't go wrong there. Very good for Reggie Smith, and I always did like him, even though his career sort of died out. I've got him in the 1978 Dodgers in all my seasons. He's not doing bad in one of them. No complaints. Here is the pitch to Smith. It's a 64. And Buzhardt strikes out Smith. That does end the inning. But the Boston Red Sox had 2 runs on 3 hits, 2-run home run by Joe Foy, and they left the runner on. First. Coming up to bat for our Chicago White Sox will be Pete Ward, Ken Berry, Jerry McNertney. We'll get some good trivia and information while we're having a good time here tonight. My channel that I watch news on is running late. They were showing 48 hours at about 1/4 so I'm in good shape right now. Here comes the bat will be Pete Ward. Pete Ward of our Chicago White Sox is batting 4th. Had a decent bat, I believe, for the hitless wonders for Eddie Stanky's team. Eddie Stanky was the manager of the Chicago White Sox at this time. They were one of the 4 contenders heading towards the tail end. First baseman had a decent little hit, 18 home runs. Considering the White Sox were called the hitless wonders. And he came out of Baltimore. He was traded to the White Sox. So for anybody who has that idea that I popped in about playing original teams, Pete Ward, you'd have to play, if you're playing one of the 60s teams, Pete Ward, you'd have to play as a Baltimore Oriole and not a Chicago White Sox. That's how the game is being played. That's how I'd like to play it. I think I could do it in Digital Diamond. I'm not sure, but I think I can. I think I can draft it out that way. So I may give that a try. I got to get more teams on. Here is the pitch to Ward. It is a 26. And Jim Lonborg fires a nice low ball over that way, and Ward strikes out swinging at it. Glaring at the umpire, he's having a couple of words about that pitch. It dipped just a little bit too quick. And coming to bat will be Ken Berry. Ken Berry, I had a lot of my baseball cards over the years before I used them for bicycle spokes. which makes you a real dummy. If I knew then what I knew now. Okay, Tim Berry is up. He's playing right field today. Been on the White Sox for a while. Here is the pitch. It's a 35. And foul ball coming up. He gets another shot at this. Here is the pitch. It's another 35. That is strike 2. And here we go. 23. And Tim Berry smacks it out towards second base. Reggie Smith ranges over towards his left, grabs the ball, flips it over to Scott, and we have 1-2 down here. Due up will be Jerry McDermott, the catcher for the Chicago White Sox. I know something about him, and I can't think of what it is. But I remember the name real well. I don't know why. So, I do remember his name. Played for 67. He only got in 56 games, so he didn't really start much. Ah, that's right. Okay. He was one of the original Seattle Pilots, and then became a Milwaukee Brewer. Okay, that's where I remember him from. Okay, he was drafted by the Pilots. All right. And he originally started out with White Sox, came with them. Moved around the league quite a bit in his history. Decent catcher. Had a fairly good bat. Batted .228 for a catcher. It's not bad. 3 home runs. Here is the pitch to McDermott. It's a 54. And possible error. Here we go. And he heads out towards right field, heading right down towards the pesky pole. And waiting for it is Tony C, and he makes the grab. We have a 1-2-3 inning for the Boston Red Sox. At the end of 1.5, it is the Boston Red Sox 2, Chicago White Sox nothing. Coming to bat is Rico Petrocelli, Ryan, and the pitcher Jim Lonborg. Rico Petrocelli, interesting player. I'm not even going to lie about it. I still think he is. I know he helped Al and his Italian-American Red Sox team. I remember that. I watched that today. Did an excellent job with that. I appreciate it very much. Very enjoyable to watch, too. I'm not even going to lie about it. Rico Petrocelli is in his 3rd year. He's played third base predominantly. He ended up switching over to shortstop in 19. He's actually become the full-time third baseman in 1971. He played shortstop predominantly. Did play some first base, too, as a matter of fact. He hit his heyday in 1969 when he was one of 2 Red Sox who hit 40 home runs that year. Ended up with 210 home runs, a batting average of .251. Not enough for Hall of Fame material, but good enough for everybody else. And for anybody who wants to know, he is from Brooklyn, New York, by the way, Sheepshead Bay High School. Which I think is cute because I have a friend now in Florida. She is from Sheepshead Bay. Here's the pitch to Rico Petrocelli. 65. And Rico Petrocelli hits it out towards left field. And it drops down quick, bounces in front of Walt Williams, and he's on with a base hit. The Red Sox are on their game today. Let's hope it stays. Mike Ryan's our catcher. Mike Ryan did not last really long with the Sox. Elson Howard eventually came in and became the catcher. Here's the pitch. 63. And Mike Ryan heads out towards right field, waiting for it to come down is Ken Berry, and he makes the play on a short fly ball over to right field. Everybody knows that area over there at the very beginning of it is like 299. Once you get to the bullpen, you're at 385. So that's the one thing right there. Boston has short porches on the corners. It didn't last that long. And if everybody remembers, the triangle is 409 or 420, something like that. Jim Lonborg's the batter. We have 1 down. And here is the pitch. It's a 34. Possible error coming up. Not going to happen. And Jim Lonborg flies it out deep towards center field. Tommy Agee's chasing it down, and he makes the grab heading towards the warning track. Nice high fly ball. Looks like the line might be heading out. Today here in April, coming up to bat is Jose Tartabull. He singled in the first inning, scored on Joe Foy's home run. He is 1 for 1 today. Here is the pitch. 33, and he hits a base hit out towards right center field, getting out towards the bullpen part. Tommy Agee hauls over to go grab it. Rico Petrocelli is heading over towards third, and he makes it there safely. Runners are on first and third. Jose Tartabull is now 2 for 2. Runners on first and third, and here is Joe Foy. Joe Foy is the owner of the 2 RBIs in this game here, and here is the pitch. 55. And he hits it out towards center field. It's a nice shallow fly ball, and he makes the grab for AG. Red Sox are out. They had no runs, 2 hits, 2 runners left on base. At the end of 2, we have the Red Sox 2 and the White Sox nothing. Coming up to bat is Ron Hansen, Jerry Adair, and the pitcher Buzhardt. Sox are ready to go. Jim Lonborg's ready to go. Here is the pitch to Hansen. It's a 35, and that's a strike. Here is the pitch. Foul tip. Must fall. Got out. Missed the catch. At 53, and ball is hit over towards Rico Petrocelli, and he gets collared in between his legs. He can't seem to find it. Hansen's hauling up the first, and he makes it out of the air by Rico Petrocelli. Runner on first for the Chicago White Sox, their first base runner in the game. Ron Hansen's on first. Jerry Adair is up. And they're going to, Chicago White Sox being who they are. Here we go. They're going to try to butt the runner over. It's a 44. And Jerry Adair butts it down the first base line. Scott has to come up and get it. Covering second base will be Reggie Smith. He fires over to second. Ron Hansen does take second base on the sacrifice hit. Due up is Buzhardt. Buzhardt has more strikeouts on my card than he does anything else. But he did hit 190, so he pretty much kept the same, so he's probably a singles hitter. Here's the pitch. 56. And he hits a high pop out towards Reggie Smith. Hansen's waiting for what happens, and Smith makes the play. We're 2 down here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Due up is Walt Williams. Walt Williams popped out to Rico Petrocelli in the first. Lonborg is on the mound, and he licks his fingers, wipes it on his uniform. Here's the pitch. 33. And Walt Williams has got a chance. This could go. He's heading out towards the wall. And it does. It heads out towards the triangle. Gets stuck in that triangle area. Here goes Tartabull trying to throw it back in. Williams gone past second. He is heading over towards third. He is safe. Hansen scores from second. We have the White Sox have their first run of the game. Walt Williams makes it to third base on the triple on a nice slide in. And the Sox are up only 2-1 now. The first hit of the game for the White Sox, triple into the triangle area up at Fenway Park. Always a known area to be a little messy. And coming up to bat will be Don Buford. There are 2 down. Don Buford also popped up to Rico Petrocelli. Here is the pitch. 23. And he hits a high fly ball towards right field, heading out towards the bullpen area. Tony C is over there at the warning track, makes the grab. We have 3 down. But the White Sox get on the board on an error by Rico Petrocelli and a triple by Walt Williams. The score now is the Boston Red Sox 2, Chicago White Sox 1. Due up for the Boston Red Sox will be Carl Yastrzemski, Tony Conigliaro, and George Scott. On a well-played, wonderful day here in April for the Boston Red Sox. Hello, D. Scott. How are you doing? Welcome to the Madhouse. You are just into a 2-1 game with the Red Sox and the White Sox. In 1967, we are into. I play one day each season. Go on to the next season. That way, there I got all 5 seasons running. Everything will be totally cool, and we are never bored with one season. That's why I like this. That's why I can do it this way. Somewhere down the line, I'm either going to pick up 2 more seasons. I'd like to do 66 and 68. If I could, anybody has any recommendations, I'll pick it up. Please, no dead ball yet. I ask anything from the 1950 up to 2017. Actually, 2016. I don't think these guys have 2017 in yet. Okay, here's the pitch to Carl Yastrzemski. 53. And Carl Yastrzemski hits out towards left field, heading out towards the monster, but it dries down. Walt Williams makes the catch, and we have 1 down. Tony C's up. Last time up, he struck out. Here is the pitch. 46. Tony C is collared again. He's caught looking on a curveball. Nasty curveball by Buzhardt. Strike 3 on him. That is 2 down here in the Nope. Up. God, I'm screwing the wrong guy. There's Yastrzemski struck out. I apologize. Tony C had the base hits. I do apologize, guy. I'm looking at that scoreboard all wrong. I had him as... I'm looking at Sox, not realizing I've got him in the wrong position. Due up is George Scott. Here is the pitch. And we got to do it again. Lost one of the dice. 62. And George Scott hits it out towards left field, gets past the third baseman, dropped down on a nice ground ball base hit, and he is on with the second time for the game with the base hit this time. Okay, Action Sports Replay. I like your games, you just play them too fast. I don't like that, because you really don't do anything with it, and we don't even get a chance to read them. Sorry about that. Otherwise, you'd have a great channel. And due up is Reggie Smith. Reggie Smith also struck out to Buzhardt, one of Buzzard's 3 strikeouts so far this game. Here's the pitch. 16. And Reggie Smith hits it out towards shortstop. Ron Hansen. Ron Hansen is able to right to him. Picks it up, fires to Pete Ward, and we have 3 down. For the Red Sox, no runs, 1 hit, 1 man left on base. At the end of 3 innings, it's the Boston Red Sox 2, Chicago White Sox 1. The 4th, 5th, and 6th innings will be sponsored by Carling Black Label. Hey Mabel, it's Black Label of Cranston, Rhode Island. And if you've ever been there, they used to have a fountain. And it used to flow beer. And if you got too close, the electric eye caught you. And it would shut the fountain off. You couldn't drink the beer. Slugs. Anyway, we've got Tommy Agee, Pete Ward, and Ken Berry up. It was Tommy Agee last time up. Did pop out to our second baseman. Reggie Smith, here is the pitch to Tommy Agee. It's a 43. And Jim Lonborg strikes out Tommy Agee on a curve. Coming into bat will be Pete Ward. Pete Ward's last time up. He's the one who struck out on a very, very questionable sinker by Jim Lonborg. We're not accusing him of anything, but here he goes as he licks his fingers one more time, wipes his on his uniform. Here is the pitch. 21. And Pete Ward struck out a second time. And he is not happy. That was on another sinker by Lonborg. That is Lonborg's 3rd strikeout. Coming up to bat will be Ken Berry. Ken Berry is the right fielder. He's hit to the second baseman last time up. Here is the pitch. 36. And he hits a pop-up towards our second baseman, Smith, and he makes the easy grab. At the end of 3.5 innings, it is the Boston Red Sox 2, Chicago White Sox 1. Due up for the Red Sox is Petrocelli, Ryan, and Lonborg. And let me take a look here real quick. I bet I can find my answer real fast. Okay, let's see what I got here. I need the Boston Red Sox right there. Oh, I have my fun here, by the way. Nope, okay. If anybody hasn't caught on, there is another category in retro sheets you could have fun with. Just so anybody knows, it's ejections. So if you have a player that gets ejected, okay, you could actually have him thrown out in the game too. They even have the inning that it's done, which makes it even more fun. Oh my, okay. I just got myself a little surprise. Oh, I can't believe they made him sit up that high. My star, Scott. That's ridiculous to do that to the old timers. Cheap-ass Seattle people. That's ridiculous. They should have been in a clubhouse or something like that, or in, you know, in one of the luxury boxes. That's just dumb. I forgot, Emmett Ashford was an umpire back then. I don't know if you all remember Emmett Ashford or not. He really had a way with umpiring, and he turned the umpiring basically into what it should have been. A fun time. He made it fun. They called him Showboat. I don't care. He was a good umpire, though, at the same time. Here is the pitch to Rico Petrocelli here in the bottom of the 4th inning. It's a 36. And possible error coming up to Petrocelli. It is a 14. And Petrocelli hits a high fly pop-up, and waiting for it with the winds just blowing around is Jerry Adair. He does get down, makes the catch. There is 1 down. Coming up to bat is Mike Ryan. Mike Ryan, the last time up, flew out to our right fielder over there in Ken Berry. And here's the pitch to Ryan. 54. Another possible error coming up. 14. That's not going to make it. And he hits another fly ball out towards right field. Canberry waits the same position he did in the second inning. Makes the play. There is 2 down. Jim Lonborg's a batter. Last time up, he flew out to center field. Here's the pitch by Buzhardt. It is a 16. And Lonborg slaps a ground ball heading out towards Hansen. Hansen moves over to his right, plants his feet, fires over to first base to Pete Ward. And we have 3 down. A 1-2-3 inning for the Chicago White Sox. First time it's happened for them in the game for their blessing. 2 up for the White Sox will be McNulty, Hansen, and Adair. We're in a tight 2-1 ball game here going into the top of the 5th at Fenway Park. Here is the pitch to McNulty. It's a 52. And Lonborg strikes out McNulty. That is his 3rd strikeout in the last 4 batters. Ball is starting to sink and dip a little bit, though it does show the wet marks on his shoulder on his uniform. And for any of you guys who've never seen Lonborg, if you go back, way back then in 67, 68, you would see that exactly what it looks like on his uniform. But yes, he was accused of throwing the spitter. Here is the pitch to Hansen. Hansen is 1-for-1, reached on an error by Rico Petrocelli and scored the Chicago's lone run. It's a 12. And it is a strikeout by Lonborg. That is his 5th of the game. Lonborg has 5 strikeouts to go with no walks this game. Coming up to bat is Jerry Adair. He had a sacrifice hit on a bunt in the 3rd inning. Here is the pitch. 45. And Jim Lonborg, I spoke too soon, reaches first on the walk. Buzzard's coming up to bat. That was a 3-2 count. Walked him on an outside pitch. Missed the black. Here is the pitch. 22 to Buzhardt. And Buzhardt singles out, heading out towards left center field to the outside of where the league scores are at there on the wall, and he makes it back that way. Strefsky comes, fires the ball in. Jerry Adair takes 3rd base on, and as they fired over towards second, Buzzard's on first with the base hit. Chicago's 2nd hit of the game. Buzhardt tried to help his own cause. Is now 1 for 2. Jerry Adair's on 3rd. There are 2 down here. Coming up to bat is Walt Williams. Walt Williams tripled his last time up and has popped out to the shortstop. There are 2 down. Here is the pitch. It's a 21. And Walt Williams flies out towards left field. Heading out that way is Strepsy. He's waiting for it. He's heading back towards the wall. He has got his hand on that wall in the warning track. Makes the grab. Walt Williams is out. It misses, scraping the wall by inches. And at the end of 4.5 innings, it is the Boston Red Sox 2, Chicago White Sox 1. There was no runs on 1 hit, 2 runners left on base. We are coming up to bat for the Red Sox. Will be the top of the order: Jose Tartabull, Joe Foy, and Carl Yastrzemski. It is an official game for anybody who has to know this, according to Major League rules. And coming to bat is Jose Tartabull. He is 2 for 2 today. He has reached on both singles. Here is the pitch. 44. And Tartabull heads another one out towards left center field. It gets over there. AG's over there to grab it quick. Tartabull takes a wide turn off first base. Has to scramble back, but he is on with his 3rd hit of the game. All 3 singles. Tartabull is just having his game today, which is excellent for the Red Sox in our new 1967 season. With our rookie man, Dick Williams was very smart to make him the leadoff hitter. And coming up to bat will be Joe Foy. Here is the pitch. We have a 2-1 game. Here's the pitch. 63. And Foy heads out towards right field. It's heading out into the right center area. Canterbury chases it down, makes the grab. We have 1 away. Coming up to bat is Carl Yastrzemski. Yastrzemski is 0 for 2 today. He has struck out and flown out. Here is the pitch. Tartabull's out first. Buzhardt looks over towards his way and pitches. 16. And Yastrzemski hits it out towards our shortstop, who fires over to second, over to first. 6-4-3 double play, and that ends the inning. Nice grab by Hansen. It was very quick, very fast. Unfortunately, it got there real quick. Tartabull tried to block to run over our second baseman, Jerry Adair, who flies over Tartabull, makes the throw. Good pivot by him, and it is 3 away. We are going into the top of the 6th on a 2-1 game. Due up to bat for the Chicago White Sox will be Don Buford, Tommy Agee, Pete Ward. Michael Butler, welcome to the club. Glad to see you're here. You're in the midst of a 2-1 game, another one. So far, I don't declare it a cardiac. I don't declare one of Clint's specials yet because it's still early, but it is a cardiac game. We're obviously running right now. Usually, these are typical of most play games. Ask Beatles. Beatles, watch me have a game end on a triple play. So just so you know, and he has seen it. Matter of fact, I think it happened in my 1965 league. Here is the pitch to Don Buford. 43. And Lonborg is still on his roll. Don Buford strikes out. That is Lonborg's 6th strikeout of the game here in the top of the 6th inning. Coming up to bat is Tommy Agee. Tommy Agee is 0 for 2. He has popped out to the second baseman and struck out. Here is the pitch. Lonborg is doing quite well today. 23. Agee hits out. It's a high fly up there towards left field. Yastrzemski is coming in for it. Makes the grab. We have 2 down. Due up is Pete Ward. Pete Ward is 0 for 2. He is definitely not in a happy mood. He has struck out twice, both on sinkers. Here is the pitch by Lonborg. It's a 55. And Pete Ward gets the better of him, heading out over, gets in between Petrocelli and the second base, drops down in the left center field for a base hit, and Ward is on for the Chicago White Sox's 3rd hit of the game. Pete Ward is just looking at Lonborg, and we have a runner on first. Ken Berry is due up. Ken Berry today is 0 for 2. He is ground out to second base and popped out to second base. Here is the pitch to Berry. It's a 35, and Berry hits it towards first base. George Scott has to go over towards his right. Here comes Lonborg, and Scott flips to Lonborg, beats Berry by a couple of steps, and that ends the inning for the White Sox. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left. At the end of 5.5, it is the Boston Red Sox 2, Chicago White Sox 1. Coming up to bat for the Sox will be Caniglero, Scott, and Smith. Tony C is coming up to bat here. And here we go. It's a 13. 13, Clint. There we go. And Tony C draws a walk. That's his 2nd time on base for the Boston Red Sox. That is Buzhardt's 2nd walk to go along with 3 strikeouts. He has given up 7 hits. Again, for a reminder for Scott and Michael, I instituted my own little rule in here. I don't know if you guys will like it or not, but if a pitcher gives up 10 hits, I'm going to take him out because of the fact that 10 hits to be tells that this man may be getting a little tired. And I think that's more than fair. It was common in the 1920s. It's not so common up here. And as we go into future years, it's even less so. If a pitcher gives up more than 6 hits, the manager's already getting ready to throw the hook at him. So you can bring in the 6th inning specialist, 7th inning specialist, 8th inning specialist. You know the routine. Coming up is George Scott. George Scott is 1 for 1. He has a walk and a base hit. Here's the pitch. 14. Possible error coming up. 36 ain't going to make it. Scott hits out towards left field, waiting for it very cleanly and very easily is Walt Williams. Makes the grab. Tony C runs back to first base. We have 1 down. Reggie Smith is due up. He is 0 for 2 today, struck out and grounded out. Here is the pitch. It's a 26. And Reggie Smith also heads out towards left field. Heading out a little deeper towards that foul line is Walt Williams. He gets over heading towards by the stands and makes the grab. That's 2 down. Very tight area over there in left field between the foul line and the left field stands. Coming to bat is Rico Petrocelli, our shortstop. Reached on the first, he got a base hit in the 2nd inning. Made the 3rd base and was held and was stranded. And he popped out to our second baseman. Here is the pitch to Petrocelli. It's a 51. And Rico Petrocelli hits a slow roller heading out towards second base. He's running for everything he's got, and he makes it on the infield hit. Tony C will take second. Rico Petrocelli stretched out a low hit, got in between the pitcher and the second baseman. It could have been a drag bunt for all we know, but it was a swinging hit. And due up is Mike Ryan. Mike Ryan has flown out twice to the right fielder. There are two down here in the bottom of the 6th inning, and here's the pitch. 61. And Mike Ryan hits it out towards second base, very easily picked up. Adair heads out towards his right, makes the grab, flips to Hansen for the out at second base, and that is it for the inning. Red Sox leave two runners. They had no runs, 1 hit, 1 walk, the fielder's choice. And at the end of 6 innings, it is the Chicago White Sox 2, the Boston Red Sox 1. And the 7th and 8th and 9th innings will be sponsored by Narragansett Beer, or as most of us in New England called it, Nasty Gansett, because it really was. Came out of Narragansett, Rhode Island. By the way, right down there by Newport, so the sailors must have loved it. We don't do Ballantine beer or Knickerbocker until we get over to Yankee Stadium. We'll do that then, and I will do a couple of Yankee games to keep going along. The 67 Yankees may have finished almost dead last, but they weren't that bad of a team. Okay, up for the White Sox, Jerry McNertney, Ron Hansen, Jerry Adair. We are in the top of the 7th inning in a 2-1 game. Here is the pitch to McNertney. It's an 11, and 11 is never good in any game. That means this guy's going to get on base. The question is by how much. And he hits a single out hits it out towards left center field, drops down. Yastrzemski's waiting for it, makes the grab, fires it back in, and McNertney's on with the 4th White Sox base hit here in the top of the 7th inning. Due up will be Ron Hansen. Ron Hansen reached on an error and struck out. McNertney's on first. He is not the fastest runner in the world, taking a short lead off the bag. Lonborg just looks at him. Here is the pitch. 55. And Ron Hansen hits one out towards left center field. Makes the getting over there is our center fielder, Jose Tartable, fires it back in. McNertney wisely stays at second base, and the White Sox have a threat going here in the top of the 7th inning. Runners on first and second. Coming to bat is Jerry Adair. If he makes the base, and I may even give thought to that, but there may be more likely it was going to be a pinch hitter coming in for the White Sox. There are no outs. Here is the pitch to Adair, and I should have thrown a bunt. Not going to have to worry about it, but here we go. Jerry Adair smacks it out directly over to left field. Gets one down and bounces up in front of Yastrzemski. They are sending McNertney around. Yastrzemski fires in. One hops to Mike Ryan, who blocks the plate, makes the stop, and we have an out at home plate. Count that 7-2. Ron Hansen will take third base. Jerry Adair is on second after the throw. And we have one down. The pitcher John Buzhardt's due up. Red Sox will have the infield in, and the White Sox are going to go to a pinch hitter here in the top of the 7th inning. Buzhardt himself was 1 for 2, but they don't want to take that chance. So, let me go to my scoreboard here. We will find out who. That's true, Al. He was traded to the Red Sox later in the year, and I mentioned that, matter of fact, at the very beginning of the game. By the way, Al, I was looking at your game, and I saw a cute little Phil Sims. Didn't he look so pretty? Hope the game's going well. I'll catch the first half after I do this, if you wouldn't mind. Coming in a pinch hit for the Chicago White Sox, and I have a choice of 2 batters. Will either be, and I don't change catchers and all that stuff. I pretty much keep it the same. I try not to if I don't have to. I know this is retro, and I know it should be realism, but no, because the game was 5-4 Boston, by the way. So anybody that doesn't remember, the Sox had 4 runs in the first 3 innings, so that's what happens here. Okay, we're going to bring in Wayne Causey to pinch hit for Buzhardt. There we go. And Wayne Causey for the Chicago White Sox, who was there in 1967. He was already basically a 12-year veteran after first coming into the league in 1955 with Baltimore. And like I said, my idea, when they first come out, you would have to put Wayne Causey at Baltimore. That's like I said, that's what we got to do. Wayne Causey in 1967 got involved in 124 games, so he does play. He was the Second baseman and shortstop for the White Sox, batted .226, part of the hitless wonders. 10 RBIs, won 3 triples, but they also had the speed to go with it. Though he was not a base stealer, he was a good runner. Here is the pitch. Infield is in. They're going to play for the play at the plate to save the game for Lonborg. Here's the pitch. 62. Possible error. Not going to happen. And Causey is struck out. Lonborg struck out Causey. That is his 7th strikeout of the game. On a wicked fastball. We won't discuss his sinker. We have Al here. Al and I have that argument about Lonborg and his licking his fingers in 1967. We won't say anything, will we, Al? Coming to bat is Walt Williams. Walt Williams is 1 for 3. He had a triple in the third inning. Here is the pitch. Runners are on second and third. It's a 13. And Jim Lonborg has walked Walt Williams. We have the bases are loaded. It is now cardiac time. We are definitely having a Clint Park special starting to work. Due up is Don Buford. Don Buford is 0 for 3. He has flied out. He has popped out, flied out, and struck out. Here is the pitch to Buford. It's a 62. And Buford hits it over towards our shortstop, Rico Petrocelli. Rico Petrocelli gets over towards his left. Short underhands the ball over to second base to Reggie Smith and makes the play. And it is 3 down. On the fielder's choice. But the Chicago White Sox stranded 3 on the bags. No runs. 2 hits, 1 walk, and actually 3 hits. And the bases were left loaded. Red Sox were saved by a great Yastrzemski play there on the top of the 7th, firing down to Mike Ryan. He nabbed the slow McNirt coming down third base. And it is still Boston 2. The Chicago White Sox 1. We are in the bottom of the 7th inning. Coming up is Jim Lonborg, Jose Tartabull, and Joe Foy. Jim Lonborg today is 0 for 2. He has flown out and grounded out. Here is the pitch. It's a 26. Oh, Wayne Causey's not the pitcher. I take that back. We're going to be changing that. No, that's not correct. Hold on here. I keep forgetting that sometimes, guys. I'm sorry I forget. I'm old. I can do that. Oh, this will be an interesting choice. Okay. Coming into pitch for the Chicago White Sox is Jack LeMahieu. For any of the Red Sox players, he pitched for the Red Sox for a little while, if I remember correctly. And he will be the new pitcher here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Jack LeMahieu pitched for the Red Sox and a few other teams. Houston, the White Sox, the New York Mets, St. Louis. He was all over the place. Pitched for Boston for 3 seasons, 1963, 64, 65. He ended up being a reliever in 65, had an 8+ ERA, went to Houston with 4.26, came to Chicago. And in 1967, he was 3-7, had 18 games finished. They did let him start 3, had a 3.29 ERA, so he did pretty decently. He was 1-0 with Chicago before he was traded to the New York Mets. He had a 1.80 with Chicago, only pitched in 3 games, 5 innings. Struck out 3, walked 1, so he's fairly decent. But he started out with the Boston Red Sox as a starting pitcher. His best year as a starter, if you want to call it a good year, was 1964. He was 9-13 for a very bad Red Sox team. Still managed to hold on to a 5.89 ERA, but the Red Sox had the bats. They had no pitching. Anyway, here's the pitch to Lonborg. It will be a 44. And Jim Lonborg slaps it out towards shortstop. Ron Hansen's waiting for it. Fires over to Ward. We have 1 down. Coming up to bat is Jose Tartabull. Jose Tartabull is 3 for 3. Scored a run. All 3 were on base hits. The 2 runs, by the way, as I know she got in late, it was by a home run by Joe Foy. Here's the pitch. It's a 12. And Jose Tartabull hits out towards second base. Finally, Jerry Adair is waiting for this one here and fires over to Pete Ward. We have 2 down here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Coming to bat is Joe Foy. Joe Foy is 1 for 3, a 2-run home run shot in the 1st inning. And he has flown out twice, once to center and once to right. Seems like he wants to try to get another one out. He's getting in a hurry. He's getting too confident. This is his sophomore year. Here is the pitch by LeMahieu to Foy. It's a 64. And Foy strikes out swinging hard. He wanted to hit one, and he missed it badly. A 1-2-3 inning for the Chicago White Sox. We are going to be going into the top of the 8th inning. Due up is Tommy A.G., Pete Ward, Ken Berry. Welcome to the Cardiac League. This for anybody who, if you talk, anybody else wants to watch this, you know anybody, this will be going into the Cardiac League playlist because it's good. It is definitely a Clip Park special coming in. I thank you guys for staking around. The little C is with the way they played. I'm letting the game call stolen bases and stuff like that, Scott, so I don't have to. That way there you don't hear every time when I get a base hit, did he steal a base? Do I roll for a stolen base? It does it for me. Plus, there are some weird plays that come out of this little C. I've had double plays of 5-2-3, 1-2-3. Good night, Beatles. Hopefully you come back and finish the game. All sorts of weird plays that come up. I mean, I enjoy this. I had a triple play. Like I said, Beatles saw it. He was the only one to witness the game on a National League game and it finished with a triple play. I never had that happen to me in my entire life. Bottom of the 9th inning, a triple play. Anyway, here we go. We are in the top 8th inning in the Cardiac League. Figures me with the heart problems. Okay, here we go. Tommy A.G. And I do get excited. Everybody knows that. 62 to A.G. Tommy A.G. slaps a hard ground ball out to Scott. He was waiting for it right down there on the line as he guards the line now in the later innings. And Scott grabs it up, walks over to first base, makes the play himself, and we have one down. Pete Ward is due up. He is 1 for 3. He has 2 strikeouts to Jim Lonborg. Jim Lonborg is pitching a 6-hitter right now with 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. Here is the pitch to Ward, a 24. And Lonborg has struck out Ward for the 3rd time. Ward is starting to get a little tired of this. And he's starting to get a little angry. He has a few words for our umpire on his way back to the dugout. Again, accusing Lonborg of that sinker that keeps showing up on him. Due up to bat is Ken Berry. Ken Berry is 0 for 3 today. He has grounded out twice, popped out once. Here is the pitch to Berry. 15. And Ken Berry hits that over the second base. Head drops into center field for the base hit. Chicago 7th hit of the game. And that brings up Jerry McDurtney. Jerry McDurtney got a base hit in the 7th inning. Was nailed to the plate by Kari Yastrzemski on a bases loaded situation. Here is the pitch by Lonborg. 65. And McDurtney hits a high pop up towards the backstop. Mike Ryan's heading back there. Throws away the mask. Gets closer to the backstop. And makes the play just in front of the screen. And that is it. 3 down. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. I had a sneeze. Apologize for that. All right. At the end of 7.5 innings, we have a Red Sox 2-1 lead for the Boston Red Sox, 2-8-1. Chicago White Sox 1-7-0. Jack LeMahieu is the second pitcher of the game. The pitcher of record, though, still, unless the White Sox do anything, is Buzhardt. John Buzhardt pitched 6 innings, gave up 2 runs on 8 hits, walked 2, struck out 3, gave up that lone home run, which is basically accounts for both of Boston's runs. Yastrzemski, Caniglaro, and Scott collectively, not bad. They're 2 for 9. Here is the pitch. 15. And Yastrzemski hits out towards center field, drops back in. AG couldn't get there quick enough, and we have a base hit for the Red Sox. That's Yastrzemski's first hit of the season. And we have no out. The runner coming up, LeMahieu is finally dropped down, but he's going to stick around, see what happens here. Tony C is due up to bat. Tony C is 1 for 2. He reached first base in the 1st inning, got caught stealing one of the stupidest plays so far of the season for the Red Sox. We'll probably see more of them. He has struck out in the 3rd, walked in the 6th. Here is the pitch. Here at the bottom of the 8th. It's a 41. Tony C hits out towards our shortstop, Ron Hansen. Ron Hansen reaches out towards his right, makes a fast decision, throws over to second base, and Yastrzemski is out on the forced play. Tony Caniglaro is on first with the fielder's choice. Due up to bat will be George Scott. George Scott today is 1 for 2. Last time out, he flew out to our left fielder, Nonek Williams. Here is the pitch. It's an 11. As everybody knows, 11 is either a good number if you're a fan or a bad number if you're not. Here is the outcome of it. And George Scott hits a double. It gets out over the first baseman's head, heads down towards that right field corner, hits that wall. You know what kind of, if all Red Sox fans know what kind of a madhouse that wall is, because it doesn't bounce back, it rolls around. And Ken Berry's trying to grab it out. George Scott is heading over to second. Tony Caniglero is using all speed he's got, and he's heading back, and he makes it to home plate. Ken Berry did fire it in towards back in. George Scott is safe for the double. Tony C is scored, and the Red Sox have a 3-1 lead. On a double, down around that nasty corner on the first base side. Due up is Reggie Smith. Reggie Smith today is 0 for 3. Struck out, rounded out, flew out. Here is the pitch to Smith. There's one down. It's a 42. And LeMahieu strikes out Smith. That's LeMahieu's second strikeout of the game. And it's, again, excuse me one more time, guys. I apologize. Here comes Rico Petrocelli. We are in bottom of the 8th inning for all reminders. 2 out away. Petrocelli's up. He is 2 for 3 today. He has 2 base hits. Was out on a fielder's choice and popped out to the second baseman. And as I mentioned, Al, I told everybody, especially about your Italian-American series, that Rico Petrocelli was a key player in that series. Here is the pitch. It's a 14. And Rico Petrocelli hits it out towards center field. Tommy Agee's waiting for it, makes the grab, and it is 3 down. But the Red Sox score another run in the top bottom of the 8th inning on a double by George Scott, thanks to the speed of Tony C. And the Red Sox lead 3-1 going to the 9th inning. Jim Lonborg is going to stay on the mound. We're going to try for the complete game. For him, he has 3 hits that he can give up. As everybody knows, Al, if you don't know, I've instituted a 10-hit rule. If a single pitcher gives up 10 hits, they're out. Ron Hansen, Jerry Adair, and a pinch hitter. Here is the pitch to Ron Hansen in the top of the 9th inning. It's a 36. Possible error. My hearing just got better, by the way. And Ron Hansen hits a weak pop up to Smith. It's very simple, up and down, and that is 1 out. Jerry Adair's coming up to bat. He is 1 for 1. Today he has a walk. He sacrificed hit in the 3rd inning, and he got a base hit in the 7th. And that mess, he's the one that actually ended up with McNerney getting nailed. Here's the pitch to Adair. 56. And Jerry Adair hits it out towards right field. Waiting for it will be Tony Caniglero. And we have 2 down here in the top of the 9th inning. Jack LeMahieu will not be hitting. Smokey Burgess will be coming in to hit. He was the other pinch hitter that I had out that I could use. I actually had a 3rd, but like I said, I'm not going to sit here and look what inning did Jerry McNerney leave the game so I could bring a pinch hitter in and bring in J.C. Martin. I'm not going to do that. So we're going to play probably with more games than what they have by the time the season gets done, but I think that's the only way I can do it. Smokey Burgess is our batter. Smokey Burgess actually ended up being a real prolific pinch hitter. He's back in the 60s and in the 60s for Pittsburgh, Chicago. Smokey Burgess has a real good record of doing this stuff. He did it well, and I watched all 7 of the games now, smart butt. Oh, God. He played it well. What year did you use him, by the way? Which year of Rico Petrocelli did you use? That's my question to you, Al. Because he did excellent. I mean, I can't go, it was a well-played series. I loved it. My God, you would have thought it was Kurt Schilling, the bloody sock going on out there for one of those games. Smokey Burgess, by the way, for anybody who are into the history, in 1967, he was 40 years old. This was his last season in baseball, by the way. He came in 1949. So he actually did 3 decades for all technical purposes. In his final series, he batted 133 for the White Sox in 76 games. Batted 133, he had 2 home runs, 11 RBIs. Like I said, this man was an excellent pinch hitter. I don't care. A lot of times I see him like that. He played for Philadelphia, Pittsburgh. I remember with Pittsburgh, I loved I had a baseball card of him from, I think, 1960. I got out, it was one of those ones I got out of, I think, one of the Kellogg's Frosted Flakes boxes. Remember, he used to sell, put baseball cards in cereal boxes. I got Smokey Burgess and a couple others. But he had that glove, and that was a big man back then for them. Here comes Burgess. It's a 24. And Jim Lonborg strikes him out for his 8th strikeout of the game. That ends the game for the Red Sox with a 3-1 victory. Jim Lonborg pitched a complete game. Give me about 35 to 40 seconds. We have a final analysis, and I will show you guys what I showed Beatles earlier. Because I found out I can do this. So everybody hang on. 4-12. That'll save the game. Bring it up into my other series I need to do. I used to do this, and I'd show you guys. Whoop. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I would show you guys this, and you guys would be forced to see this. Let me show you something different. There we go. I know. Okay. There we go. Let's see what I can do here. Yeah. All right. I'm going to do it this way. Okay. Give you a fast sec here. You are going to see you may see a black space. I apologize. Okay. I found this. This will give you guys better reading, and it'll show you exactly what I've been describing every time I'm describing one of the games out here now. This is the notepad. I save every game into the notepad because it gives me the stats that I need. We'll start with the pitching for the White Sox. John Buzhardt pitched 6 innings, gave up 2 runs on 8 hits, walked 2, struck out 3 as I said before, the 1 home run. The Red Sox scored 2 runs in the first, 1 in the 8th. Joe Foy on the Joe Foy home run. Jack LeMay came in, pitched 2 innings, gave up 1 run. It was earned, struck out 2 Red Sox on 2 hits, and he faced 8 batters. Not a bad job. For the Boston Red Sox, Jim Lonborg pitched a complete game, struck out 9, I take that back, walked 2, 1 run on 7 hits. Few questionable strikeouts, but they let him walk. For the bats, for the Chicago White Sox, nobody had a multiple hit game. Walt Williams had the lone extra hit, a triple. Triple knocked in the lone run, which was Ron Hansen. And Walt Williams has his first RBI of the season. Jerry Adair had the lone sacrifice hit for the White Sox. There were no errors. White Sox left 8 runners on base. For the defensive side of the house, as you know, everybody knows me and Beatles likes his stuff. Ron Hansen had 5 assists by himself. Not bad. And Jerry Adair had 3. He pretty much equal on the put-out side of the board. 1 sacrifice hit, like I said. 2 walks, 1 triple, and that was it for the White Sox. For the Red Sox, they had 10 hits. 3 runs, a double, a home run, Joe Foy's. Rico Petrocelli had the lone error of the game. George Scott had a double. Foy had the home run with 2 RBIs. George Scott had the other RBI. Tony C got caught stealing his first time this season, and the Red Sox left 7 players. There were no double plays. There was 1 double play this entire game. Yastrzemski did it in an earlier inning. So, for our final analysis here, it was the Red Sox with 2 runs in the first, 1 in the 8th. The White Sox scored 1 in the 3rd. The Chicago White Sox, 1 run, 7 hits, and no errors. And our hometown Boston Red Sox, 3 runs, 10 hits on 1 error. I'll be showing this from now on. I want to show you guys all the analysis so you guys can get a good look yourself on this. You guys know I love stats. So, let me save that. Get back to my original picture here. And another fun game, a cardiac game for the crew, which I love giving to you guys. Oh, I keep it. On the left side, you can always see who's due up there that has their name. But if a roll's good for the batter, if generally in this game, like compare, like a few of the games we play, If you get an 11 or a 66, most of the time it's going to lead to a second bat. If you see the two numbers on the card like APPA does, like APA does, the second number is always a hit. 6 is a double, 7 is a single, I think 2 is a triple, and 1 is definitely a home run. And that's how I know the rolls are good for a player. That's the only reason why I know. And playing it enough times, I'm starting to learn what the codes are. But there are some oddball codes that show up. I do try to find the series. Rick Pitcher, like I said on here, he went 2 for 4. I can't go wrong on the game. But it plays like APA. As a matter of fact, this is APBA's cousin for all intents and purposes. I think Cyrus worked for APBA for a long time, but he wanted to put a game on PC and set this up. I think APBA's computer game is an afterthought. If you notice, theirs is different. I like this one better. I just got done watching Tenacious Earl's. He was at the tournament over there in Stillwater, Oklahoma. I got to watch what they do, and I'm still not quite sure how to do it. But it's a lot of dice and board. I got to have a bigger table to play it. I got to have Tenacious Earl's workbench basically to play APBA. As it is here, all I just need is a keyboard. I've got my dice board, my dice roller board in front of me where I'll place a camera. I've got the scorecard on the side, so I can keep an accurate score for all you guys. I like doing that for the games. The games I don't show, I don't keep the scorecard. I'm maybe doing that from now on. I love doing this, and for you guys, it's always a pleasure to have you guys enjoy and watch it. I like picking, as Al knows. I love picking on them. I like picking on all you guys. You make it fun. If you pick back, you will not get any meanness from me. I won't get nasty. I promise. Again, we do try to keep all the games clean. My goal is that somewhere down the road, kids will want to see baseball on YouTube, and these games and our games may get picked up, and they may be found, and they may take a look at retro baseball, and they can see, besides the fact that we played the game, they can see the history of the game and see how it evolved or devolved in some cases. That's why I do this. This isn't for me. If it was for me, I wouldn't even broadcast. But this isn't. This is for everybody else in the world. I'd love to show him this too, and I'm having a good time doing it. Jester, whoever shows up on occasion, Al answers my funny questions about broadcasting when I first started. I got that out of the way. I had Cyrus and Mike Ruck out of MP3 give me a lot of the answers. The guys over in Digital Diamond, which I'm waiting for the upgrade before I start them back up again. That way I can transfer all my games and stuff over into the new upgrade. That's what I'm waiting for. Well, they'll give the instructions for that. That's the only reason why I'm waiting. Love to play the games. I love watching all my YouTube broadcasts now. I must leave. I have got to watch a football game between the New Jersey Generals and the New York Giants for ownership of Meadowlands Stadium. You guys take care. Have a great game. It is always fun. And please let everybody else know. Please, if you do, leave the up thumb for me. And any comments are always welcome. And let me add my note to this. Another cardiac special. Take care, everybody.